Hi guys, it's Miss Nicole and welcome back to Online Karate. Before we get started, we have to put on our gi. There we go. Make sure you have enough space where you're not going to hit a family member or a piece of furniture that could have hurt you. When watching this video, feel free to pause or go back at any time. Today, we are going to be focusing on how to make our forms even better. We will be doing this by focusing on our key-ups, stances, kicks, and punches and blocks. Before we start, let's warm up. We will be warming up with 35 jumping jacks and 15 squats. Let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Now let's do 15 squats. Make sure to keep your back straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Next, before we get started, we have to stretch. Put your feet together, reach up to the sky, and touch your toes. Next, spread your legs apart and reach down to the middle and count 10. Reach back up and reach to one side. Reach back up and reach to the other side. Next, sit down, do one leg in, one leg out, and reach with both hands. And count to 10. Now, switch legs and do the same. The first thing that we're going to be talking about are key-ups. Make sure you don't key up on every move and only key up on certain moves. You also want to make sure your key-up isn't too long, but also isn't too short. Here's an example of what not to do. Hey! 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 You also want to make sure they're not too quiet. Here's an example of what not to do. HiYa is an exhalation of air that causes you to make a noise while you do a technique. It puts extra energy behind your moves, so that's why they're important. The next thing we're going to be focusing on are our stances. We want to make sure our stances are low and that they don't rise while we're doing them. In your stance, it's also important that you really focus on your chamber hand. You want your chamber hand to be as far tucked back as possible, and you want your elbow to be sort of against your body. Practicing these stances will help you in any form. In your front stance, you want to make sure your heel is down, your back leg is straight, and your front leg is bent right over your foot. Let's practice doing 5 front stances. If you have enough space, you can do this down the floor, but if not, you can do it in place, switching sides. You can pause here. For your horse stance, you want to make sure both legs are bent and your toes are facing forward. You want to also make sure you keep your back straight. Now let's practice a few horse stances. Again, you can do this in place or you can do it in a line, switching sides. You can pause here. For back stance, one foot should be facing forward while the other one faces sideways. It's also good to keep your back straight. With a back stance, if you start your feet in an L shape and then slowly spread them apart, that will tell you where your feet should go. And let's practice back stances. Again, you can do these in place or you can go down a line, switching sides. In a form, it's not only important to make sure your legs are strong and looking good, but it's also important that your punches and your blocks look strong. When making a fist, we want to make sure our thumb are on the outside, and while doing a punch, we want to make sure we hit with the first 2 knuckles. A good drill to practice is doing your punches in slow motion. Let's do it together. Our hand is slowly going to come up in slow motion, and last minute it's going to turn and pop out. When doing this, our shoulder can also come back just a little bit. It's very important that we focus where we are punching. Instead of just punching somewhere randomly in the air, we want to make sure we aim. This can be for the nose or the chest, but we want to make sure we aim. Let's do slow motion punches 10 times. You can do these going down the floor, or you can just stay in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that we've done our punches in slow motion, let's practice again going at normal speed. Make sure you focus on what we practiced doing the slow motion punches, and these will make your punches a lot stronger and look a lot better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doing these punches, a good goal is to make our gi pop. Moving our hips in our punches can also make our punches stronger, because then our whole body's energy is going into one punch. Another super important part for your form are your kicks. You want to make sure you aim where you're kicking, just like you should aim while you're punching. So we also have to make sure we have all 4 parts to every kick. Here are 4 parts to our front kick. Our knee comes up, our leg pushes out, it comes back in, and then down. Here's the same for a round kick. Our knee comes up, our knee points to where we're kicking, our leg kicks out, comes back in, and then down. Here's the same for a side kick. Our knee comes up, this is a super important part, shoots out, comes back in, and then down. Let's practice a couple kicks, doing all 4 parts, and then put them in fast motion. Let's start with front kicks. Let's do 3 front kicks using all 4 parts in slow motion, and then do 3 front kicks in fast. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's do the same thing with a round kick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's do the same thing with the side kick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. When we're doing our forms, it's also important to make sure where you're looking. You don't want to look down, and you don't want to look up at the ceiling. You want to look where you're striking, blocking, or kicking. Here's an example of what not to do. A strategy that I use when I'm trying to make my form better is think about someone taking a picture after each move, because you don't want your form to be too fast. Here's an example of what not to do. Instead, try it like this. Applying these tips to your form will make your form a lot better, and you can apply them to any form that you do. It's important to practice these forms over and over again with these techniques, because every time they will look better and better. As more and more of these videos come out and you're practicing different forms, keep all of these tips in mind. Now that we've focused on making our forms even better, I want you to pick a form, and I want you to do it 3 times, focusing on the things that we've been working on. If you would like, you can do it more than 3 times, but at least try to do it 3 times, really thinking about what we talked about in this video. You can pause here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you keep washing your hands and look for more videos coming out for more lessons. Bye!